we took the points out of we took the old distributor off, took the points system off of it, and we added a kit called a Pliers-Wrench igniter. It's a digital kit. There's no moving parts in it, or no wear parts rather, where you never have to jack with the points again. If this thing is working, then it'll start and you get spark. If it's not working, there's no spark. There is no resetting dwell, nothing like that. It's just it's 100%, almost 100% foolproof if you wire it up correctly.
Now I will say, these things, you know, there's a manual that comes with them, and I think I kind of lost mine probably a month or so ago trying to install that on the old distributor. There's a problem with that distributor. It's like 70, 80 years old or whatever, so it's not too surprising. 70 something bucks on the internet. We got a brand new reproduction one. But yeah, we didn't really film much. We're doing some odds and ends. This is one of the problems, I guess, of working with mechanic Steve, is that the guy gets a lot done really fast. So unless you have someone filming like today, Justin from The Good of the Land, is you miss a lot of stuff. I remember when we were working on the Zetter engine, rebuilding it, you know, I go in, make some coffee or something, working late, I come out and I'm like, dude, how long was I gone?
You ready for your freaking crash course in coil wiring?
Sure.
Negative side goes to distribulator.
Just negative to distribulator.
Okay, so the part on the coil, they'll have a negative. The positive goes to like battery voltage or switch on.
All right, so oldest trick in the book. It's pretty new to me. Mechanic Steve showed me. You take some spray adhesive like this, and then we figure out which way it goes. I think it goes like that. We spray one side of this with just a pretty thin layer. Get as much on your fingers as possible so everybody in the comments can tell you not to. And then we just put that. That doesn't really line up at all, does it? Maybe this goes on this side. I thought they were the same. Yeah, close-ish enough. Everybody thinks this is an 8N or 9N. It does look somewhat familiar, but really it's like 2 or 3 tractor generations newer, and it has about twice the horsepower. It's just the styling that's about the same. I don't think there's really even any parts that interchange. Now, any mechanic can tell you the secret to success on something like this is just run down this first bolt as much as possible without lining up any of the others.
Correct. I have a problem back here.
Uh-oh, what is it?
So the casting on this is thicker and it's hitting this bracket. So it won't sit flush.
Aftermarket junk. I think the same problem's over here because it's hitting on that bracket.
All right.
All right, so what do we have to start grinding on? All right, Steve, put some bolts in the holes. Huh? Put bolts in holes.
What?
Are they going?
No.
No! Weighs like 10 pounds, whatever will I do? Not that there was any doubt, but the sparks coming off this thing do in fact confirm it is cast iron. Steve, what I said earlier about putting one in all the way, then the rest, I was kidding.
Oh, dang.
This is the problem with universal aftermarket parts. Well, not really universal, but made to fit probably like 10 different models of tractor. They fit all of them, but none of them 100% perfectly. Luckily though, some angle grinding and some various hillbilly hackery, we were able to get it on here.
Yeehaw! I think it'll work. I'm with Chucky about these universal aftermarket parts. So I try to explain to customers when I'm working on their engines or whatever, and they find that one engine rebuild kit that's $900 instead of the actual like Cummins or Caterpillar one that's, you know, $2,500. And they refuse to believe that there's any difference, and then they have a problem with it later and they want to blame you.
Look, I can barely move this thing at all in here, yet I'm still getting a good couple clicks per son of a gun. Oh, man, you do not need these things very often, but when you need them, you need them. Uh-oh. Yeah, we can get that with the socket. When you need them, you need them. Oh no, there's a starter in the way.
Too bad SK.
Yeah, I gotta go get my little stubby wrenches. Hey, Steve, do you have the bolts, the nuts for this? No! Oh, this might actually be a serious problem.
They're right over there on that frame. At least one of them.
This?
Is that it?
No, that's... Oh yeah, I'll be fine. We'll just wrap it with electrical tape.
I think we only had one.
Oh no. Oh no. Cardboard eater has 2 studs coming out of it. I only have 3 fine thread nuts that are kind of close in the entire shop. None of them are the right one. Gotta go to the hardware store. The trip of shame. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Goes the bar.
Oh. I hate carbureted engines so much. Distributed engines, very close second, but once we figure out the Pertronics thing, well, they're more reliable than they are without it.
Hold it.
What's going on, Steve?
Just trying to check to see. We got voltage to everything. Probably have to break out the old voltmeter real quick.
All right.
All right, crank it.
Are you ready to test it, Steve?
No.
No? Are you ready?
No.
Steve, is it ready?
No.
I hope if I say that enough times, one time it will be. Ready?
Try it a couple times.
Oh, you want more? What do you think it is?
No spark.
No spark?
All right.
Oh, so what is it, the Pertronics thing?
Possibly.
All right, guys, sad day for the tractor. You know, I said in a previous video this engine has two major problems. The first is that it's carbureted, that's the most serious one. The second is that it's a distributor operated engine, so it's gonna have constant distributor problems as well. And we're experiencing that already. People disagreed with me, which is fine, but I stand by it, especially after today. So basically, you know, I got one of those Pertronics electronic ignition kits, and the thing is just completely dead as dead can be. Now, to be fair, we don't know if we put it in backwards or whatever. I at least tried to follow the instructions. Yes, I actually did read them, but I don't say that very often and went by them. But so either it's dead out of the box or somehow we wired something wrong or what. But we've been jacking with this for like 5 solid hours, and these guys unfortunately have to head home, and the tractor completely dead. We also had what, at least one coil that dead right out of the box.
But one bad coil. The Pertronics deal, I told it was my suggestion to Chucky, and I still stand by the Pertronics ignition deal because I put them on stuff. I've never had to take one back off. And I've also been told, I haven't verified this, maybe if you guys know this in the comments, let us know. I've been told that there's diodes set up inside where even if you hook the thing up backwards, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect any of the internal electronics on the kit. It's just a there's no electronics in it. There's no circuit boards or anything in it. It's just a solid state device. So I've been told that you can hook it up backwards, and the only thing that'll happen is it just won't start.
Yeah, people speak highly of those. I think they're probably pretty decently made and designed. There should be some type of redundancy in there. I mean, I don't actually know. Maybe it's just plain and simple defective, but this is the thing, you know. People are like, oh, you know, distributors are not that bad, carburetors are not that bad, you can fix them with a screwdriver, which is great. They're not that bad when they're working, which they usually don't. And I have nothing but constant problems with them. Somebody commented on one of my videos, I don't read comments very often, but somebody commented, was like, man, what would Chucky ever do if he lived in the 60s through the 80s when everything was carbureted and distributor operated? Well, lots of diesel swaps. That's what. Oh man, it's frustrating. Like I said, we spent probably a good 5 hours today with this and some time the other day. We tried to put points back in it, however, I don't actually remember exactly everything that was required to put that Pertronics kit in, but I think I threw out the plate that the points mount to, because the Pertronics thing, it's got that little dish, it is its own plate, so it doesn't need that. Looked through the scrap bin, looked through all the spare distributor parts, looked through boxes of parts for the old tractors, found literally everything else. The old distributor, which we had to replace because distributors suck, hate on me if you want. I found the old coil, and I found the old points and the old condenser. everything other than the plate. So maybe this distributor didn't actually have a plate, you know, because we got it new. Steve was the one who put it in, so I don't know. But
oh well, we'll order another Pliers igniter and then try it again.
yep, it's frustrating, but it's not surprising. I mean, we have a carbureted distributor operated machine and it's not working. Who knew? But yeah, like Steve said, we're pretty much just gonna order another Pliers deal. Try it again.
I can tell you guys from a viewer standpoint, from you guys, I like putting failures on YouTube because one of the worst things about watching YouTube videos is the fact that you see somebody like do an engine swap and zero problems with it. Within 9 minutes of the video, they've got it swapped, it's running, everything's great, but what you didn't see is one of the motor mounts didn't have the right holes drilled in it or something, it didn't start, they had to run over here, they broke something, they hurt their hand, all that stuff. It happens to me all the time too. I mean, every mechanic, if you're fixing stuff, you're gonna have some, you know,
you ain't breaking stuff, you ain't making stuff.
So I have no problem putting, you know, to me it's not even a failure. We had a, you know, have a bad part. It's gotta wait till the next day. But
and a bad coil.
It's important to show you guys, you know, because when you're running through these frustrations, I know, like on my channel, what I tell people is one of the worst things you can do is watch a professional do something for your confidence. But for your confidence, you watch a professional do something, they get it done in 30 minutes. You try it, it takes you 4 hours. I watch Chucky weld. He can get stuff welded up in about 10 minutes, and it takes me an hour and a half to do it, or longer. You know, and then I gotta grind and all kinds of stuff, and it's like it's the same way with me mechanicing on stuff. I can do stuff and it looks real simple, and then Chucky will do it and it'll be 2 or 3 hours. So, but
yep.
it's important to show, you know, the struggles and stuff you have with things. So that's it. Now Chucky owes me a whole bunch of money because I'm gonna send him a bill for like 11 billion.
Sounds great. Oh, it's so frustrating. It makes me really want to work on that diesel tractor over there.
Just poisoned you.
Oh, I'm gonna die. At least I don't have to deal with carburetors anymore.
Thank you to our lovely camera assistant, Justin.
From the Good of the Land has a great channel. You should totally check it out.
Ow, I'm so old.
This is pathetic. We can't even make the simplest stuff work. You know, Steve can barely stand up. Why do you guys even watch these videos?
For the lols.